Hello and welcome to another edition of Superhero Movie Review Time. I'm your host Grant Liston, a very bored Englishman. So, 2017's Justice League is... well, it's a mixed bag to say the least. Many fans dislike the rush story and the poor CGI, whilst others love the return of the Man of Steel, minus the baby face. Now, I personally didn't like the movie, so, like with Suicide Squad, I am going to try and save it. Back in March, I held a poll on Twitter and asked you guys, what should I try and save? And, as you can see, with 40% of the votes, Justice League is the clear winner. And once again, thank you all so much, because I have no idea how I would save the Green Lantern movie. So sit back and relax as I try and save the Justice League.
Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost.
So we start off with a normal night at Arkham Asylum, where we see some of the Suicide Squad and Lex Luthor are just playing cards, and they're swapping stories on how they nearly killed the Batman, in a nice little homage to the Batman animated series episode, Almost Got Him. When, all of a sudden, some of the guards drop dead and several masked gunmen break the criminals out of Arkham. They're taken to Lex's mansion where the real Lex Luthor is waiting for them, played by Joaquin Phoenix. Yes, I know he's been cast as the Joker, but I've always believed he'd make a perfect Lex Luthor. So, this is Lex Luthor Sr., and he left Lex Jr., played by Jesse Eisenberg, a simple plan, and is very disappointed, like with most of us, with his doomsday plan. So Lex kills his son by strangling him in front of all the other criminals to show the power shift of pure dominance. They then pin Lex's murder on Bruce Wayne, forcing him to go into exile as the GCPD try and bring him in and also arrest Alfred as an accomplice. Meanwhile, the escaped criminals are set loose into Gotham, Metropolis and Star City. Riots are going off everywhere. This leads us to how the League comes together. The Flash is trying to bring down Captain Boomerang, and Wonder Woman is trying to stop Harley and Joker from gunning down civilians. Then Cyborg disobeys his father by going to help the police with containing the riots. Unfortunately, they get in each other's way and they step on each other's toes while trying to bring them all in, but the criminals all escape. During all of this, Bruce tries to find a way to bring Superman back from the dead, where he discovers the ever-helpful AI Jor-El upon the Kryptonian spaceship, who informs Bruce about the mother boxes and how to find them. We go back to the rest of the team, who go and recruit Aquaman, who at first is very reluctant to help an Amazonian, but after a huge balls-to-the-wall fight with like Killer Croc or King Shark, just imagine what Aquaman could do against these enemies. He then decides to officially join the team to help round up the rest of the criminals. We now go back to Lex Luthor, and this is where his plan really comes forth. Luthor has an army of Lexbots all stationed in Russia, and they're about to board a plane to invade Korea, sparking a massive world war in which Luthor is then going to profit from the sales of arms and weapons. For you see, releasing the criminals from Arkham was nothing but a footnote of his plan to distract these heroes that he's heard so much about, so his true plan can actually take off. This is where I bring the film to a close, with the Lexbots leaving Russia and Batman bringing Superman back to life, and all you see is his fist punch through his grave. And of course, in true superhero fashion, in the after credit scenes, we see Steppenwolf on his way to Earth. Now, some of you are probably going to be wondering why I've taken certain measures and kind of made Batman and Superman take a back seat. The way I see it is, Superman has had his film with Man of Steel, and yes, Ben Affleck had his film in Batman vs Superman, yet we've had dozens of Batman and Superman movies over the years, and the studio's decision not to give the rest of the League their own movie until after the Justice League, in my opinion, was a bad idea. So what I want to do with my version of the film is give Batman and Superman a backseat for part 1. Because I want to make this what it should have been all along, a part 2. And in this first part we get to really explore Aquaman, Cyborg. I know Wonder Woman had her own film, but she has been the best DC movie since they started this universe with Man of Steel. And okay, yeah, Ezra Miller's Flash was okay in Justice League, but it annoys me when people say that he stole the show, because to me it felt like nobody wanted to steal the Justice League. Also, making this a two-parter, it gives time for Henry Cavill to do his Mission Impossible movie and then come back for part 2 and shave his goddamn moustache off. The CGI was so distracting, and I say, if you go on the internet, everybody was talking about it, everybody hated it, and so this gives us a little bit more time to play with. Also, I do love Jesse Eisenberg, but this is not the role for him. When I heard he was cast as Lex Luthor, my reaction went, okay, it'll be interesting to see where he goes with this, yet I don't know. And then I saw him and I was just like, oh, my actual first thought was he played the Riddler. And everyone goes, oh, he's so much more like the Joker, and I do see where you're coming from with that. But when I saw him, maybe it's the ginger hair, but I just instantly went, that's Riddler. That is the Riddler in a nutshell. So the idea of bringing in maybe Lex Senior, as Joaquin Phoenix, it would just be fantastic in my mind. And lastly, the villains. Some of you may be thinking I've put way too many villains in this film, and granted, you may be right. However, when you look at the Justice League film we got, nobody cared and nobody liked, and hell, nobody enjoyed Stephanie Wolf. Because it was such a nothing character, and because he was completely CGI'd, and it was bad CGI at that, no one cared, and it was just really, really disengaging. Whereas I would like to offer villains that we have seen before and actually make Suicide Squad almost worth it in a sense, so we can actually bring forward villains that we've had before who have had past dealings with our heroes. So we actually bring them the film where the Suicide Squad may have hinted they've had problems, we now show them the problems. And introducing this new Lex Luthor who's pulling all the strings, it'd be an interesting twist. And then once we set up the mother boxes, then we bring in Stephanie Wolf. Then we bring in the villain who now knows where the boxes are, and they're all together in one location, instead of in the actual Justice League movie, here's one box, got it. Here's another box, I got that one too. The third one, I'll just take that, thank you very much. It was so easy for him to just walk into these incredibly high secure places and go, I'll just take that, thank you very much. God, this film irritated me so damn much, and even worse, it was only 2 hours long. This needed so much more time to breathe, it needed more time to explore and world build and character create. It was just so condensed. Which is why I offer you the two-parter. So, what do you guys think? Was this a better way to set up a Justice League movie? What would you do better? Let me know on my Twitter or in the comment section below, and I'll be back with part 2 once I figure out how DC can get any worse. Take care now.
And everybody